Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful Monday, the 18th of October. I am Astro-Numerologist Lloyd Strayhorn. Okay. As you see, we have our guest here. Let me do me. There we go. There we go. Boy, let me tell you, today's the last day of Mercury retrograde. So Mercury's been kind of like doing whatever it wants to do. I don't understand it, but it's okay. Um, at any rate, though, I just want to let you know that this is Live with Lloyd, where the joy of numerology is the joy of learning and enlightenment. Before I bring my guest on, Miss Kaya French, that you saw at the top, the sun is still in Libra. The moon is in Aries. It started, but on the 20th at 10 something in the morning, it goes officially full moon. So if people are into their feelings, okay, up until the weekend, that would make all the sense in the world. So this is what I want to say. That's the cosmic forecast. Today officially is the last day of Mercury retrograde. However, there's always the residual or shadow effect. So there's always about a week and a half leading up to and a week and a half leading out of. But at least in the shadow effect is not as bad as being dead smack in the middle of things, okay? So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my guest, Miss Kaya French. Kaya, can you hear me? Oh, let me see
I can
something.
hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good, good. First of all, thank you very, very much. Hold on, let me join you. Whoops. Hold. Let me see. I'll get it together in a minute. There we
That's
go.
okay.
There we go. There we go. I already told one of the things about learning live is it keeps it real. All right. Now you give
Mhm.
me about another couple of months. I said that about a month or two ago, but hey, things happen. But when Mercury is retrograde, these are the kinds of things that happens. Kai French, how you doing?
I'm doing good. My computer ain't working, so no Mercury retrograde. I gotta use my phone.
And yet, when we tested it, everything was working lovely. So I don't quite understand what that's about.
Yes.
But anyway, that's how it goes. Anyway, you are, how would you describe yourself?
I am a astro numerical analyst. What that simply is, I study the science of numbers and the energy and frequency vibrations. However, I like to analyze things and put a double pair set of glasses on there and um, give you a numerical perspective on your natal chart, also in your numbers, numerology, using the ancient science of numerology.
Tell me, what's the story? What led you down this path that we would cross paths and stuff like that?
Boy, Lloyd, let me just get to it because I got to start off with my childhood because that's where everything pretty much started. And it started at a very young age. I had to been about from 11. Yeah,
Is
there I
that
go right
you?
there. That's me right there. Let me tell you about that picture though before we get into it. You see that smile on her face? Oh, that's me. And I still got the same crooked smile. So I want to thank J. Cole for making that song Crooked Smile. I felt very special.
Funny,
Look
funny.
at her.
Yeah,
So
okay.
anywho,
So that's how you started out the gate, huh? Alrighty. Continue.
out the gate. So it started when my journey started when I was 11. And as early as I can remember, see, I was always around older people. My godmother was older, and I would start to read people license plate, their addresses, their phone numbers, all the way down to my mama's friends' phone numbers and addresses. Like, why do I remember your friends' phone numbers and her address? Like, I don't need to know their information, but yet I knew how to get to certain streets. I even know how to drive. So streets, license plates, and numbers were my thing. And so I started asking people because now I'm questioning their zodiac sign after I got the numbers, license plates, numbers, house address, and how everything play a part. So now I'm thinking like, okay, well, what's your zodiac sign? What's your sign? Because now I'm looking at it differently now. Now I'm seeing people in relationships. And I'm seeing how people, well, women, mainly 'cause I was around a lot of women growing up, and they were there, when women get together, they start talking about their relationship. When the men get together, they talk about their relationship too. So I was just wondering, like, well, why they always sad? Why they always crying? Not knowing, I'm young, I'm 11. I don't know what that is to have that kind of relationship with a man. So I was just wondering, like, why are they always talking about these relationships? Why are they always crying? They sad. They talk about this and that, how he did her this way. So it kind of interests me. So I'm like, well, does it have to do with anything with the zodiac sign along with your date of birth? So I start asking my godmother, what's her date of birth, and then her mother, then her sisters and her brothers and my sisters and my brothers and my friends and kids on the block. So that's how I got into astrology, but I didn't know I was in astrology at that time. I was just zodiac sign because I'd have heard of it one time before. I knew all the Aries, Leo, Sag, and all the other kind of stuff, but I never really dived into it. I just was just asking people.
Well, I tell you this before you continue. I see some people chiming in because she, after she gives her story, is definitely going to be taking birthdays. So I see some have been submitted. So I can't wait to see what she's going to do in terms of the astro-numerical analyst. Now, I understand you were actually homeschooled. Is that correct?
Lord, yes, I was homeschooled. See, I never went to school until the seventh grade. I was always homeschooled. Better yet, I started off at I was so young. I was like 9 and 10, and from 9 to 13, I was cleaning old folks' homes. Okay, so
Hmm.
I had my own job at 9 through 13 by cleaning old folks' home, washing their walls, their dishes, vacuuming their floors, and that's what I would do. And people would pay me for that kind of stuff. I thought that was kind of nice, but I thought it was lazy at the same time. But I understood when I got older that people get older, they need that kind of help. So and then so yeah, I was homeschooled. I never went to school until the seventh grade, and even when that's me right there.
That you did in the seventh grade on the left.
That's me at Dominican High School, and my mom, she homeschooled me, my sisters, my brothers, and down the street who lived on our block was a lady named Jackie, and she taught us French. So she was our French teacher. My mama had other people coming in teaching us. So my mama had her house, her home, and then she rented out another house down the street just for us to go to school. So it was my mama and
Wow,
my,
no
my other
kidding.
friend kids. So it was like 14 of us being homeschooled, and we had like green and gold uniform. She handmade those as well too. She was a very artistic, talented woman as well. I thank her for that ground and giving me the foundation of that. See, I never went to school. So when I did go to school, it was different for me because I'm around people that I don't know, that I
Hmm.
used to know.
Hmm.
So by me going to school, let me just say this too. When I was young, Lloyd, I felt like Steve Harvey. He was the only person that I can really um correlate with. And so I got older, I didn't know this, but he used to have a stuttering problem. Okay, boy. When I heard his story about him being stuttering problem, where the teacher had called him up because he wanted everybody to write what they wanted to be when they grew up, and he wrote that he wanted to be on TV. And she waited to the last person. Well, she called him to the last for him to tell him what he wanted to be, and he couldn't get a word out. He was like, So what? So what you want to be? So, as a young girl, I couldn't get the word mama out. Okay, I'm like, ma, ma.
In other words,
Like,
you were a
ma.
stutterer also?
Lloyd, I stuttered. Okay, I couldn't get mom out. I couldn't get a word out. So me going to school was like, oh my god, I had to like say little short words and stuff like that because I didn't know. I stutter all the time, and I would make fun of me because
That's
when I was a
interesting.
kid. When I was a kid, my sister, she always used to beat my butt because I was the lightest one and she was the darkest one. So she always used to pick on me and beat me up. And then my sister, my brother, started jumping on her. So back to the numbers game. I started at 11 years old by knowing people birthdays and license plate numbers, house addresses, and things of that nature. And then after that, it kind of mellowed out for a second. And then I started to just write like poems and stuff when I was young. I kept a little journal. And then when I hit 16 years old, my mama friend came to live with us. She would send me to the store and play her number. She write list down. She said, "Here, I want you to go to the store and I want you to give this to the lady." And she didn't know what to do with it. I'm like, okay. So I went to the store and gave it to the lady. She said, "Here, you know what to do with it." And she played her number. I said, "So what are you doing?" She said, "Oh, these are lottery numbers." I'm like, "Lottery numbers? What is that?" So um that's how my second nature of numbers came along, was the lottery game.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't until I was 18 that I started to get into the lottery, because by that time I was working at an institution by that time, and ever since then, like, numbers that just always kept following me. So it was mainly so much the lottery, and I don't know why the lottery kept following me, like it was trying to choose me or something. So um as times grew by, I started to study the lottery. I started to study the system of the lottery. And if people know me, if they're watching this now, they know me. I used to be at work studying them lottery numbers. When I work on them numbers, they did not talk to me. When the bosses leave to work, I used to be printing out the numbers of the lottery sheet, so I can study them and see, certain times of season, certain number comes, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so lottery to me have got me to understand that there is a sequence and a pattern with these numbers. And so I've been wanting to find out what is that hidden secret pattern into that. So me and my friend, my colleague at work, we used to go play our numbers. Even if we didn't go play our number, we just walk to the store. We just walk around the building, whatever. And we'd go outside, we see a cab, 1925. And then we go to the store. We see the same number in different kind of way. We be like, I want to play that number.
Well, I gotta feel some people gonna play 1925 since you threw it out there, because I know my brothers and sisters, okay, when it comes to numbers. All right.
Man, sometimes numbers do. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Sometimes numbers really do come to me, and sometimes they come to me within my dream. I be envision that I went to a store and played a certain number, and it played out that way. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, this is like deja vu or something. So lottery got me into numerology. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Well, how did that happen?
so how did it happen? Tell y'all it happened. I'm at work, right? So me and my colleague used to talk all the time about numbers. I work with numbers all day long. I worked in financial aid department, so it's nothing but numbers all day
Mm-hmm.
long. So I'm seeing 111 999 6823. I'm saying all these numbers everywhere. So when I see a number repeatedly over again, I'm like, look, come over here. Do you see this number? It's
Mm-hmm.
so one day I was at work and I was working on the numbers. Then my colleague said, his name was Marvin. He said, Kaya, you know what? You got a gift for this. I need you to look up numerology. I said, Marvin, what is numerology? He said, look it up. Google is your best friend. I'm like, okay, I'll look it up. I looked up numerology. This was back in 2015. No. This was 2017. 2017, I started looking up numbers, right? I started YouTubing. I started Googling it. When I was Googling it, I'm like, oh my God, this right here is amazing. So I started YouTubing because I was already on like a self-development journey. So I was listening to people like Joel Benjamin, Noble Ample, and Minister Jew. And I was listening to people who would say that like how they didn't even go to school and they were successful. So I would just tune into that kind of energy. Earl Nightingale, Gary V, Steve Harvey for motivation. and Les Brown for motivation, just all types of genres I was listening to because I was on the verge of, I felt that I had a higher calling and I couldn't put my finger on it. So when I got into numerology in 2017, this is April 2017, I located you through Joel Benjamin. What's that place called there? Nicholas, Brooklyn?
Yeah, Nicholas Brooklyn. Yep.
So through Nicholas, Brooklyn, King Simon was on there. And King Simon said, because it was about numerology, then he said, you gotta get this book. You gotta get this book. I'm like, wait, hold on, pause the video. Let me see who is the author. I took a closer look. I looked at the author name, Lloyd. I Googled you. I looked you up. I YouTube you. And I was watching your videos from some Z Star Man. I started watching you at some events that you were doing. And you did some events there at Joel Benjamin Place too, as well. And I was so intrigued how you was just flowing effortlessly with the numbers. I'm like, oh my God, I have got to do that because one of I call her my mothers. I have two mothers at that time. They still my mothers now. They are, she told me about her getting a reading from a numerologist. And she told me about it some years ago, and it just started to I started to remember what she said. So I went in there and I asked her, what did he tell her? And she didn't tell me everything, but she just told me, like, what he told me was very much true. Everything have came to pass. I'm like, okay, well, let me find me a numerologist. I'll give me a reading. So that's when I found you. I booked. I ordered all your books. I read all your books. Okay, before I even booked the reading with you, because I wanted to see what these numbers was talking about, because I love numbers already and I wanted to see what this book had to offer. So I read the book. This is all April 2017. I booked appointment on May 7th of 2017, and that's when you read me. I booked I think it's a 30-minute session with you and Lloyd.
Mm-hmm.
When you read me like nobody's business. Okay. I was like, oh my God, is this man in my house or something? Because how he know what's going on in my life right now? How you know what's right here? So, I was really surprised. I was really intrigued, like, oh my God. So, and I was going through some changes in my life. And you pretty much pinpoint everything I was going through. And I had asked you, what is the personal year? And you told me, you explained it to me with the personal because it's in your book, but you explained it to me in more depth. I'm like, okay, so what's the personal month? So I'm asking you all types of questions now. So you was explaining to me. So after that reading, we ended that session. I called you again on May 25th of 2017. You read me again because at that particular point, I was going through a transformation in my life, and you put some emphasis on what I was going through, and I was on the verge of quitting my job. I was on the verge of going through a lot of life changes, situations, and one day I was at work. I had typed me up my own job description because I felt that what I have brought to this company, I created a system for this department that they may have never had in this department. And I also created some instructions for um, their website as well too. So I was thinking, if I can do these things, let me just create my own job title. So I create my own job title. I include how much I wanted to get paid and everything like that. Send it to the bosses, whatever. And nobody really responded to me, but they sent me an email asking me to solve an issue. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Something ain't right here. So I had like a epiphany, and I was in my chair at work, and one of the little turnaround chairs. So I turned around in my chair, like a circle, and I feel like my whole life just flashed right in front of me. And something said, "You gotta go." I'm like, okay. I was already feeling like I didn't want to put no more work clothes on. I didn't want to put no more work shoes on. I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired because I've been working since I was 11 years old. And now I have worked at a company for 11 years. And I've been advancing in this company, but I wasn't being fulfilled spiritually. So that's when I decided to take a leap of faith. As they say, you jump off the porch. And I felt numbers was calling me. Number was my calling. And I told myself, when one door closes, another door opens. And once I believed in that, before I left the job, my mama at work, both of them had talked to me, but one of them didn't know I was leaving. The other one did. And she told me to go home and pray about it. But what she didn't know, 2 months prior, I was already packing my stuff, cleaning off my computer, doing all types. I was getting ready to go because I was like, I had it. I'm tired. And um, I went to her office. I told her what was going on, and she told me to go home and pray about it. But what she didn't know, I already went home and prayed about it before I even went to her. I prayed about it, and I just asked the Lord just to show me a way. And I went back to work. I think this over the weekend, and I'm like, I'm quitting on Friday. She's like, "You sure?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm just tired. I said I need something else. I need something that's gonna fulfill me. And she's like, okay, I ain't gonna stop you. And she shared this story with me about her husband and how her husband wanted to start a business and how she was gonna back him up. And he listened to his family rather than his wife, and he never fulfilled his dream. So she told me, don't be a woulda, coulda, shoulda person. I'm like, okay, because she believed in me that I was very good in numbers. But at that particular time, I didn't have that much belief in myself that I was that good in numbers.
I think we all go
So
through that.
yeah, it was hard for me to believe that at some point. But she shared that story with me, and I was already thinking about coming to New York. So I booked a flight to New York. Never been to New York, but I knew one thing, that I wanted to come and study numbers with you. And I did that. And we met at Central Park. This was what? So I quit my job. Before I quit my job, my other colleague said to me, when he saw what I had wrote up, he said, Kaya, what you saying, what you can do for this company, you can do it all for yourself. You can act like this your workspace, and you can work your business from here. I'm like, yeah, that sounds good, but I'm tired of being here. I just left money on the table like Dave Chappelle. I ain't leave that much money like Dave Chappelle did. He left like
And
$50,000.
he had 50 million. So
I left like $3,500 on the table because I was in the union, so we were getting like you know what you call them, like reimbursements sometimes. So
mhm.
we get that money, and it was coming up next month, and I'm like, I couldn't wait. I just had to go. Myself was telling me it's time to go. I'm like, okay, so I had to make that exit plan, not knowing what I was about to get myself into. I did have some money saved up. I have 2 children at that time, still do, and I didn't know what was going to happen in my life. I didn't know what kind of things were going to happen, but I just knew one thing. I knew numbers calling me. So I figured, because I was very good in studying, I said, if I sit down and study these numbers, I can be an expert in these numbers. And that's what I believed in myself. And that's when I booked my flight to New York, and I met you at Central Park, and we studied from what? like 4 hours straight in the park every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
I was studying them numbers because I already had read your book. I was already researching, and then from there on, I have got a whole collections of books of astrology and numerology, and I just started studying. And I feel like knowing numerology was the piece of the puzzle that I was missing. And it just brought everything into perspective for me. It
Mhm.
helped me make more sense.
Well, my whole thing is like, from my perspective, because I'm knee deep and committed in this, that everybody should know this. But it took me a while to realize this is not everybody's cup of tea, so to speak.
Mm.
Everybody has their own niche. So I learned how to respect it. But this is why I tell people there's nothing you can do without numbers, whatever the case is. And you evolved. And so you came to New York. And not only that, but then from what I understand, you then met King Simon as well as myself.
Yeah, I ended up meeting King Simon. Listen, look how the circle worked. First, it was Joel talking about how the health products and stuff like that, and then it was King Simon talking about your book. Now I come to New York and I meet both of these people. I'm like, oh my god, this is all a dream to me. Like I meet all three of them in one day. That was a pretty amazing. So
And not only that, you wound up giving a workshop, which was, in fact, this was King Simon's idea.
and that was, think about that. 2 years later, from me quitting my job, from me walking away for something that I solely believe in, that I just knew that numbers was going to assist me and help me out as long as I did my part and studied it.
Well, it's interesting because you got a whole different look when you had that job look versus the way you look now.
Yeah, I was like, I'm your boss then, but now I'm like, okay, now I'm your numerologist now. Yeah, my whole energy changed from that Kaya to this Kaya. I'm totally different, and my journey for this Kaya started in 2014, and my journey for the numerology started in 2017. And actually, in fact, that particular year, I was in a non-universal year when I was going through this transformation. Not only that, when after I got into numerology, I started getting into astrology, and that's when I heard Cleo Washington on the radio one day, and I'm like, I gotta get her. She gotta do me a reading. So when she did my reading, oh boy, now that's another story. When
Now,
she did,
she's an amazing woman. Listen, I've been knowing her for a minute too, and she's one of the best when it comes to. And I love the title she has, which is Solar Biology. I'm
mm-hmm.
just being like, wow, that's interesting. So, so now that you've done that, can we share? Because evidently there are quite a few people waiting, I guess, to get a demonstration of what you can do.
Yeah, so what I'm gonna do today, because I started off with numerology, and my first love was the personal year and the personal month, because I was so intrigued of how you did that in your book, numbers in you, that was the first thing that I was at work running people numbers just off the book, you know. And so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm gonna do your personal year and your personal months today. But my love and my forte is personal, is the life path and your pinnacles. Because once I got deeper into numerology, I understood that there's a deeper aspect of this, and I'm actually currently writing a book about life paths and pinnacles, and it's gonna be phenomenal.
Well, what's hold up. What's interesting to me is, like in astrology, there are different strengths. I'm going to have a gentleman on from Boston a week from today, Monday,
Mm-hmm.
and he has a certain leaning toward certain aspects of astrology that he's going to share. So, what intrigued you about, or what of all the various aspects of numerology, what intrigued you most about the personal year that people are going to get? Because in fact, I got somebody waiting right here. They jumped in as soon as you started about 20 minutes ago. Um, Lady E. Boyd. So what intrigued you about saying, okay, this intrigues me right off the bat with then other aspects, if that makes sense?
Because Lord, the first thing as far as I remember, the first thing I asked you was about the personal year and personal months, because you yourself asked me, was I already a numerologist? I'm like, no, I just
Really,
love the
really.
numbers. And you was like, if I was to teach you and train you for the longest, you'll be a great student. I'm like, bet. Oh, one more thing before we get into these numbers. I was going to school for my master's degree and organizational management, specializing in project management. And Lloyd, let me tell you something. When I asked you, did you go to school for this? You told me no. I am the beauty of this. I am self-taught. Those were your words. I said, wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute, hold on. Now you about to flip. You didn't flip the script for me, because if you are self-taught by numbers, well, then I'm going to school for the wrong thing. Then I need to be going to school for numbers, but I ain't even had to go to school. I just self-taught myself and start picking up books, and I start reading.
So
So,
now let's start with our first one of many, Lady Boy.
so I'm on my phone, so this computer not working. So what's the birthday?
Lady Boy, she's born July the 28th of 72.
Okay, July 28th.
Yes, July 28th is her birthday. Lady E. Boyd.
Okay, so she is in a four universal, a four personal year, and she is in a five universal month. So this particular year for her, and since late September was a preview of what's to come around September 25th, going on to October the 1st of last year, was you had to stand up on your own 2 feet, and you had to pretty much not fight but stand your ground, because you had people looking at you out the side of their eyes and trying to put their agenda on you. You feel like you may have been trapped in four walls, and only if you only know that if you find your way out of this, instead stop following his agenda, her agenda, your agenda is the most important one. So don't feel like you in these four walls trapped. You can definitely get yourself out of it. You have to have a routine, a structure. You got to get up a little bit more early than what you're getting up, because your day go by real fast. By 2 o'clock, your day done pretty much went by already. You didn't do half the things you were going to do. So keep, like, have a notebook. Write down what you want to complete for the week or for the day, for that particular hour, because you got to get things done. You got to get in structure, because if a woman ain't tight in her home, she's not together at all mentally first.
Question. How, for people who don't know, how do you determine a personal year?
So how do you determine a personal? You take the person date of birth,
All
and
of it?
just the month and the day. You add those together, and then you add it to the universal year, which is 2021. So I added, she's born July 28th, so I added the 28 plus the 7 month that she's in. I broke them down. I simplified them by 2 plus 8 is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1. So in my head, I know a 28 number is a 1. So 1 plus 7 is 8. Add that to the 5, that's 13. So she's in the 4 universal month. Year, and the 5 universal month. And this particular month, things has been going her way, since probably like a couple of days ago. Now
I'm
that
so
Mercury
glad
is
to hear that.
retrograde, but from June through now, it's been like a freeze zone for you. It's been like a wait and see game, and you needed to have more clarity. If you had any kind of paperwork to get done, get your paperwork done. If you need to put your foot down and get some structure in your home, that's what you need to do. So it's all about structuring yourself. And
Okay. I'm
hold
sorry.
on, wait a
Go
minute.
ahead. Go ahead.
When it comes to your friends and your family, you have to love them and keep them from a distance, because some of them, you would notice that your relationship is a little bit different, sometimes a little bit strained. So keep your head up, keep your head high, and keep on walking by.
We got another person here, Ife Wilder. They're born September the 19th.
Okay, so this person is in a 5 universal. I mean, 5 personal year and 6 personal month. So this person was word
They're
of
born on
mouth.
September the 19th.
He says,
Can you
"So what
see?
again?"
Are you able to see what I'm
I'm
seeing?
I'm on my phone right now, so I'm
Oh, okay. All
trying
right.
to
Yeah,
get it.
because we had a last minute glitch from the computer. Yeah, he's born the 19th of September.
So yeah, so he's in a 6 personal year and a 7 personal month right now. So this six particular year has been about family, home, duty, responsibility, working out a regimen plan with your health, maybe rearranging your home, relocation. Your family has been pulling on you for advice, calling you for all types of things, even doing gifts and favor just because you know they need the help. But I don't want anything from you. I just want to help you. But this is also time to pay attention to what your heart is telling you, what your body is telling you. So make sure you do your physical, what's it called? A physical. So your
Mhm.
annual physicals. Every year, get a health check, start your new regimen, change your diet, change your appearance in some way. Maybe you are thinking about changing the way you wear your clothes. It can be the same clothes, but you're wearing them just a little bit different, or you change your hairstyle. And this particular year, you're glowing, so you're very attractive. You are in a relationship cycle where you either can start relationship or end one, or you're looking for more of a commitment, not just in a relationship, but what about a commitment with yourself?
All right. We got another one next. Deborah Nuttall. She is born on the 6th of July.
Okay, so that's 4, 8, that's 3. So she's in the money cycle this particular year. Now, last year for her was more like a up in the air. Things wasn't really going really great for her, but she had to put in the work, and she went through a lot of emotional withdrawal within herself last year. But she had the women being was her backbone, helping her, guiding her, showing her the word, showing her the ropes of life, and teaching her some things that maybe she already knew, but sometimes a refresher is needed for to just to uplift your spirit, because things were just moving pretty slow for you until about late August, until August, September, and October. Things got a little bit more better. It's also for you to clean your home, change a job, drink plenty of water, maybe take more baths last year. For this year, now that you planted that seed, you watered the seed last year. Now it's time for to see your fruits or your labor to bear fruit. So this is more about what kind of self-investment, self-development that you wanted to do. You feel like you want to make a name for yourself some kind of way, but it's only if you reaching down inside and you do those self-investment, you start clearing out, weeding out the old, and getting and start something new. Those are the things that can happen. Also, your finances will vary great, especially in the month of March, and also in the month of May, and then in September as well too. Your finances got a little bit more better. Now, you wasn't in a cycle of relationship, but you were in a cycle of being flirty or flirtatious, or just giving compliments, or just helping somebody, or being a consulting.
I have there's a Kimberly Guado, Gerardo, I hope I'm pronouncing her name. She said to send you some love, Miss Kaya. Maybe that's one of your clients. I got another Misty Light from Denmark. Wow, thank you. I know we had some people from Australia and Egypt. Okay, and
Thank you for
let
the
me
love.
see.
Or
OJ Nelson says, "Good evening, people." He's January the 3rd, born in the Bronx.
man, this person, January 3rd, I'm just gonna speak about his numbers, 3, 8, and 6. You got the money numbers. You got the gift. You have the gift of speaking, the gift of a people pleaser, a people person. Do you got the gift to being able to learn to know how to structure or organize your own business? You don't really need nobody to really help you, because you are your own help. And when it comes to money, you be up all night. You probably have one, two, three different jobs. And since you say he's January 3rd, right?
Yes, January
So
the
he's a
3rd.
Capricorn. So this man may wear a suspender, may have an old funky waist style about how he do things. His car is kind of like old school. If it ain't old school, it's totally up to date, but it got some up to date quality because it's a Capricorn. It likes to have its updated amenities in their home. Um, this particular year for him is about change. It's about transformation. So it's about letting go. Are you tired of going through the same old circles and getting the same results? This is that year to really let go, release anyone that's no longer serve a purpose in your life, whether it's a habit, a pattern, a relationship, or you holding your own self back to fulfilling your dream. So you already know you are the boss. Nobody needs to tell you that, and you don't need to always showcase yourself because you already know when you come through a room, everybody know and ready to talk to you. They just come running to you because the life of the party just started. You are the life of the party. You are the light. So you give a lot of advice to people as well too.
What about the one that's born, like in this case, Yvette, that's born on the 4th of July?
Now, Yvette, she born July 4th. She is the nucleus of her family. This is where home. Everybody comes to her for home, good sound advice because she know how to keep a structure, maintain her home. She's always able to be and know the 411 what's going on without having to go outside the door. People will call this woman and tell her what's going on. She don't need to go too far, but she also needs to know that and this can be a generational thing for her from her mothers and from her sister, is that when she was much younger, she went through a lot of difficulty situation with man, and she come home with her, she lived with home with her mom and her father. It was like, where did you meet this man from? Did you meet him at the club? Did you meet him at the store? I mean, because he's not your type of kind of person. Some of the men may have been more of a narcissist in your life, trying to be more controlling. So you went through a lot of emotional within your relationship.
I want to pause a second so people get. Can you tell us some of the things you do other than being an astro-numerical analyst? In fact, let me see. I think from some of the things you do, right here, I have that you are also a columnist. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so I began the year of 2019 as a columnist for the New York Amsterdam News. So I write numerically every Thursday, weekly column for New York Amsterdam News, and it come out every Thursday. I don't even have an article with me, but I do post them on my social media account, which is mainly so much of Instagram. So if you go to Instagram, all those pretty little zodiac signs that you see, my column is called "The Rebirth of a New Nation," and you can look on my Instagram and see that. My website is www.kayafrench.com. Lord, I think you spelled my name wrong. It's
I did.
KYA.
Get out of here. Okay, my bad.
It's
It's
KYAFRENCH
KYA. Boy,
dot com.
even going down the home. Hold up, hold up. You see, even going down the home stretch, Mercury still do that.
It's
It's
okay.
KYAFRENCH. And how do they find you on Instagram? Isn't it Know Your Numbers with
My
a three as
Instagram
against the E?
is Know Your Numbers. KNOWYOURNUMB. The letter three, number three, RS. So the E is backwards, pretty much, is a three.
Yes. Okay. Hold on one second. Let me see what we can do. Make sure. I hate spelling people's names wrong. That's correct now, right?
You got it.
KYAFRENCH, KayaFrench.com, media site, Instagram. Do you have a Cash App?
I do have a Cash App. My Cash App, if you want to donate, or you can just sign up for our upcoming event, which will be here in Detroit, Michigan, at the Copper House on October 23rd, 2021.
Hold up a second. What's your Cash App address?
Know your numbers at
Oh,
gmail.com. Know your numbers.
just dollar sign, right?
$ know your numbers. But you have to put the E as a three, RS.
Yeah, okay. Hold on. Um, the one thing about live, okay, okay. So let me see. Okay, I think that's it, right?
Yes, that is correct. Man, these phones, I mean, they come in handy because my computer, I don't know what's going on with this
No, the
computer.
computer, we tested it. Everything worked fine. Also, before we take more, because you got a boatload of responses. Also, there's going to be some event that's taking place that's right here. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so this is an event at October 23rd at at the Copper House in Detroit. You will be there. I myself will be there. And what we'll be doing is numerology. We're giving you the forecast of your personal year, your personal month, what's in the future head of the future year of 2022, because that is a year that's going to be phenomenal. Because women, you are coming into yourselves. You are awakening up. You're coming into your power, and this will be an event where we would go and dive into numbers. We transpose your name into numbers. We'll just give you a reading. Pretty much, you go to a psychic fair, you get a tarot reading, you get a Reiki, all this stuff. We're doing straight numerology, working with nothing but the numbers. And let me just say this: if you can turn on your TV, and if you watch the news and you watch the meteorologists tell you what the weekly forecast of the weather, it will be whether it's raining, cold, hot, sleet, hail, tornado, hurricane, whatever the weather may be. And you okay with that? You okay to watching what the temperature gonna be? Then why aren't you okay with coming to see a numerologist who can give you insight of your personal year, your personal month, your vibration of your name, and your birthday?
Kind of makes sense to
It
me.
makes sense because they study the science of the weather. As numerologists, we study the science of numbers. So it's kind of like, how can you say that numerology is what they call it? What kind of science they call it, Lloyd?
Pseudo.
Pseudoscience.
Those
So
are
how you,
haters. Those are
if that's
haters.
the
Don't worry
case,
about them.
then a meteorologist, yeah, I said it, is a pseudoscience too.
Question is now when people come to this event this Saturday in Detroit, can they see either one, or let's say somebody says, "Okay, I want a reading from you or a reading from me." Is that real?
Yeah, so what you can do and how you go about booking your reading is you can go to my website at www.kyafrench.com, and you will select, there's two options: one for 15 minutes, one for 30 minutes. You'll go to my website, my landing page, and on the tab to the right, you will click on consultation. You'll go to, you see all my services I provide. You go to the the last third and fourth one will be one for 15 minutes, one for 40 minutes. I wish I can share my screen, but I can't because I'm on my phone to show you how to do it. You can book a session with me or Lloyd. There's an option when you click on the booking for October 23rd, you have an option to choose Lloyd as your reader or Kaya as your reader. Now we both have a schedule from 1 to 6. The hours are from 1 to 6. So Lloyd has a separate schedule from 1 to 6, and I have a separate schedule from 1 to 6 as well too. So you can book either one of us during those time frames. It's not. So if you book a 1 o'clock, I'll also have 1 o'clock open, or a lawyer have that open, or a 2 o'clock, whatever how I do. We both have that open slots for you, and you can do
Well, you
walk-ins.
okay? Because you said already some people have signed up, so it's on a first come first serve base. You can't wait all day. It's I think I have two locked in. I don't know whether you have a couple of locked in already, Kaya, but the point is that please get on this. Let me show you again. There it is right there. It is on this Saturday, the 23rd of October from 1 to 6 p.m. at the Copper House in Detroit, Michigan. So I guess people who live in the area, It's along what, 7 Mile Road or something like that, you said?
So it's on well, better yet, if you know Illinois and Detroit, that's like on the north, on the west side of Detroit. You would take Illinois, because right off is Illinois, in between 6 and 7 mile. There's a street called Monica, one of the side street. Now it's at a house. It's called the Detroit Copper House. So it's not a brick and mortar, but it is a brick and mortar because it's a home. And it's like how old school days they used to have business as their home. This is a business as their home, and how they do the Copper House. So it's a beautiful setting, within size, very comfortable, and we're just providing the service to do readings, numerology readings. So come out and come learn about you and then your numbers and the stars.
Before we turn it back over to a whole boatload of people that wait to get in, which means we're gonna have to keep it short. Are you giving any special aside from this event? Something special?
Well, we have another upcoming event on November the 6th, you and I.
No, I'm talking about the discount at the $80 reading or something like that you do?
Okay, so yes, I do have a forecast for $80. That's a 3 month read. It's a 3 month forecast. And that's $80. I have other services on my website that you can go on there and see. If you go on there right now, you can look on there and see it.
And what's the
But
website again?
I said I do have other services on my
No, what is the
website.
website again though?
My website is www.kyafrench.com. KayaFrench.com. My name,
Yeah. Yes.
KayaFrench.com.
As King Simon says, spell my name right.
Spell my name right.
K-I-A. And Brandon Smith said hi too. He's going to be coming on. In fact, let me show you this brother here. He's going to be coming on this Wednesday. Okay, he is a
Yeah.
Libra 2 person, and it's very interesting
That's his
because a lot of
birthday.
people ask about the Bible, and he comes from 3 generations, maybe 4 generations of people in the
Wow.
ministry. So he's also wrote a book called Namaste to Numbers. So now, because we got so many people, okay, we're going to spill over a little bit. I know it's been spilling over lately, but I must get excited and stuff like that, you know? So what's going to happen is um, if you can keep it real, kind of short, brief. And for those of you who would like, hold on, let me make sure we get this straight. Okay. For those of you who can't get through but would like a more in-depth, and let's say you can't get to Detroit for whatever reason, because like you live in New York like me, okay, then what you do is you can always call or go to her website and whatnot. And this is how you do it. All righty. So I'm gonna turn it back over because you got quite a few people. And well, where do I start at again? I gotta wind up. Anyway, I have to find a way. And I think what I'm going to do is take a one time and just read everybody. I mean, because y'all are coming in and it's greatly appreciated. Let's start with Kimberly. She said her birthday's coming up in 10 days. All right.
Oh, 10
She's
days.
born October the 28th. I think the same day as Angel.
Really? October 28th. Okay.
Yeah. So what
This
do you have to say about Kimberly? And don't forget, we just keep it short because you got quite a few people.
Thank you, Lord. I kind of be long-winded sometimes. So October 28th. Now, just looking at her 28 number indicates that you have great, beautiful, grand ideas when you come to masterminding, or getting yourself together. Even working for like a manager or supervisor, or you have these skills, or you are a manager, supervisor, or CEO, or you can be these things. That the only thing is that with you, when you come to these ideas and you know something, you kind of cancel yourself out. You kind of don't, you take a stand back. But I need you to be more uh, um straightforward in your approach, and just trust your intuition. You are the backbone of many, 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 many generations to come, and they look up to
That's a whole lot of minis, but go right ahead.
you. Well, she is. She knows she's the boss, and everybody look up to her. When people come to her, they already know what to expect. They know.
Well, good. We got Imuna. She says, can she please get a reading? She's born March 27th. So I know right away, whoever this person is, they don't play. Can you say anything about them?
Man, this person she has the gift of the gab when it comes to her words. She's always humanitarian spirit, helping those others along the way. This person will give the shirt off her back to help somebody. This person is also a person who loves to inspire and motivate and make a contribution to the world in some kind of way, whether it's helping a friend, cooking a meal for them, or making sure they have the right medication that they need, or they can get home safe. She's always making sure that she look out for her people, but sometimes they don't always look out for you, because you are Aries, so you are a self-initiated starter. So sometimes you start things, but you don't finish them. So make sure whatever you start, you really finish them. So you probably need one or two things going for yourself. And this particular year for you has been about relationships that is making a commitment or wanting more of a commitment. Because if not, they're not giving you that, you pretty much out the door, and you're gonna just commit to yourself until you can find that right one.
What about Miss Delight, who was from Denmark? She says she's born July the 22nd.
July 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. So this person is in a seven personal year. So this person was doing some soul searching, introspective things being revealed to her. Maybe she went in to decide to go on a journey, doing retreats, getting to know herself more, writing and journal and meditation. It's more about healing yourself this particular year.
Hmm.
And this is also about people that you already suspect has some things that they never shared with you, or they all of a sudden want to share and tell you all their business, or want to be in partnership with you some kind of way. So I would just be mindful of the people the company that you keep around you, and make sure they're always being honest, because that's what your thing. You can tell me one thing, you can do this and do that, but if you're not honest, that's gonna break my heart the most.
Okay, this one is Kissy Jones. She's born December the 1st, so I guess she don't play either.
No, she don't play. But when it comes to her friends, she all in for her friends, and she would do, um, she'd do the most for them, because her friends are like her family to her, and she knows a lot of people in high places, high status, maybe even politics. She'll do very well in communication, whether it's um, writing scripts, or a liaison, or be the person that can be a catalyst of things, where or you bringing people together, or you building this big company, this foundation kind of company, that that you bring in like a healing kind of service, but something that's odd and unusual that will come about with this number that I see, the 1, 4, and 3 energy number. um you can be a person that have like a what you call that, like a promoter or something, and you bring all these people on, and you connect everybody else with everybody else, so you can be a consultant as well.
Okay, next is Akia Violet. She's born on the 2nd of May, May the 2nd.
Wow, this person goes through a lot of emotional with her feelings, with her family, even with women, but she always have a woman, a mother, a sister, a aunt, or even a best friend. Like, she don't even go to many places without having someone with her sometimes. Or now that she got a little older, she may call them, let them know where she's going and what she's doing, but she don't tell them everything. But for this person, if you want her to tell you the truth, you got to ask her the right kind of question, because otherwise she's gonna probably get you the runaround. If you ask, or she gonna tell you a story, or share a story with you, because she shared with younger women of her age, that she would show them a story in a relationship, just to better themselves, so they can have someone to look up to call an auntie or great aunt. So everybody always calling her for her advice, because she know that she's going to give it in a kind of tender, loving kind of care way, where they feel open to share their stories with her, she can help them.
Okay, next is Talik Kajila. I hope I am so terrible with names, and I no disrespect, but they're born December 28th, a Capricorn, but they're on the December side of Capricorn. What do you got to
Yeah.
say about them?
This particular year for this person, it's about ending, allowing dreams come dreams being fulfilled. So the month of May and the month of September were really like breaking points for you. Major, I wouldn't even call it a major setback, but it was a major eye opener where mentally and physically and spiritually you had to hold yourself together and find out what direction you wanted to go in life. Like what's been heavy on your mind. What are some things that you've been craving to do or wanting to do or accomplish or even letting go? Are you sick or tired of the date the mate that you're with? Or you wanted something new or rekindle the fire some kind of way? Uh, so don't I wouldn't second guess myself. If the first idea is right, then follow that first hunch, because that's where you will fall short at most of the time if you don't follow yourself, follow your inner guidance.
Next is Doris Smith, who is August the 7th.
Okay, so this person is going through a lot of emotional changes, but also these changes can also be affected within her joint finances or within the thing that she valued the most. Could be a car, money, clothes, whatever that you put value on. If you're not taking care of yourself, or you put in more emphasis on emphasis on materialistic things, then those things will be taken away from you. But if you put more emphasis on loving yourself, taking care of yourself, doing working on some self developments, going on some retreats to heal yourself, then this will be a good cycle for you for next year to come, that you start reaping those benefits that you already had the idea last year. Now you are sitting there, you watering your plant this particular year now. So you probably ain't seeing too much of the tree or whatever you grew growing up, because now it's in the germination process. So since September and now October, things are looking much, much better. You can see a little bit of money coming in. You see a little bit of fruit coming in. You see people are trying to help you now. And if you
Okay.
get any kind of legal advice, make sure you put some money up for yourself.
Now, this is Let Love Reign. She is born July 31st, and she made a note that she too homeschooled her daughter.
Oh, that is beautiful. I'm homeschooling my daughter. Not right now, but I homeschooled her now, and that was something that I had a just
And Leo's a
a vision
dominating
to
man. I mean, wow, Lee is must be a well, the moon is in Aries, maybe that has it. But anyway, what would you say for Let Love Reign,
I
who
was like,
is July 31st?
this is a person that has to have her home has to be a place where she can come home and it is her peace. And she may have to have like some writings on the wall. Maybe she have like some beautiful art with sands on them, or beautiful art, because this is the kind of person that I can take a I can take this blank white bookshelf and I can uh make it stand out and make it pop by putting her own spill on, her own twist on it. So she can take anything and just plain and make it a beautiful piece of art, whether she does drawing or art, or it can be an advisor or a counselor, can be a therapist as well too, or it can be somebody who works on homes and real estate. Or she haven't thought about it. If she can get into that kind of field, I think it will be very good for her. Or just do some interior decorating.
This person here, Africa Forever, says, "What's up, Kai and Lloyd? I've gotten a reading from both of you a couple of years ago, and he's born on August the 7th, just like Doris that you read. That Leos are dominating. I don't know what's up with you, Leos, but y'all are definitely making your presence felt. That's all I can say. Wow, here's another Leo. Wow, this is amazing. And you know there are patterns. There are patterns that you see. In this case, Jareen Summer, I hope I'm pronouncing the name, born on the 3rd of August.
Another
Wow.
Leo.
Wow. Wow.
this
It's,
This
it's
Leo, this
uh-huh.
Leo, her friends are very important to her, but sometimes you gotta let your friends go, because either they're gonna pull you up, they're gonna pull you down. You need people that's gonna be always gonna pull you up when you are down, not talk about you when you're down. So that's something that you have to be mindful about. And when it comes to your family members, sometimes you gotta keep them from a distance or love them from a distance, because sometimes you're so futuristic because you grew up around a lot around your elders, your great aunties and great fathers, and people who always been around you, been older people, older man. You always been attracted to older men as well too. And So you always was wise in your age, so you don't really vibe with your age group of people. You vibe with higher, but as you get younger, you vibe more with the younger people because they keep you afloat.
I'm going to do about 5 more. This one says Teresa O'Brien, and her thing is she's born March the 28th, and she says Kaya is amazing. All right. So whatever that means.
Thank you, Teresa.
So that's one. We got 4 more to go. So, and then we'll let people know how they can get in touch with you. We'll talk about the event, and then we'll have to go. But I'm going to set one day, actually 2 days. Hold up. Let me do this. I'm going to set 2 days aside, a Monday and a Wednesday, and I'm going to read everybody's birthday. And I'm going to be just going through everything. I may not talk about a subject other than if you want your numbers read, just chime in and we'll do that. But
That's
Kaya, back
awesome.
to Teresa O'Brien,
Okay, so
March
Teresa
28th.
O'Brien, she's pretty much a couple of days past the mark of Pisces and Aries. So this person will always either work for somebody who's in higher ups and authority over her, or she would be the person that is the boss and command and demand that she is the boss, and that she can be the person that can have a team. But if you don't know how to be a leader in your team, then your team is not going to be able to work with you. So you have to learn how to understand your role and your position and your team, and always allow and listen to your team because they have input too, because you're all are working together, even when it comes to either friends or family or even relationship problems, that these people are always in your surrounding. And also when it comes to when you were growing up, either your mom or father was active, or you was always with someone else watching you, babysitting you, because you had to be out and about. You had to be in some kind of sports, gymnastic, or music or art or writing, something that gets you out and about because you don't like to be at home.
Okay, this is interesting. This is 3. I got 2 more to go. This is Stephanie. She says, a friend, 5/20/1988. My BD, B/D, don't know what that means, is born on May the 20th, 1955. They say, why are we so different? To me, other than the obvious age difference.
The
Does that
age
make sense?
difference, and most definitely the year. One's born in 88 and one is born in 55.
Yes.
So one born in the year of the two, and one is born the year of the eight. So the one that's born in
Huh.
88 is more about structure, finance. They old school when it comes to old ways of loving people. They wisdom is very old. So they may look older than you, but when they get younger, I mean older, they also look younger too. But they go through more turmoil with their families, where you, the person that's 5/20/1955, they go more with dealing with partnership. They all want to be in partnerships. They all want to be your sidekick or be right next to you. They always calling you on the phone. So y'all will work together if y'all can have like some kind of real estate business together or run some kind of company together. Because the one that's born in 1988 is gonna be the boss. She's gonna
Well,
be like, no, we're doing it this way. We gotta have this structure. We gotta have this paperwork done. We gotta run it this kind of way. And I'm gonna need you to use your good, kind words. And the one that's born in 1955, you'll be the person that brings the story to the people. You bring them to the table.
Well, there is a woman, as is interesting. There was a person that said Bonetta Sutton. She said that she's going to play that, and you know what that was, the number. And the one after that says 1925, and then she said, "Give me some numbers." So maybe people need to call you to get some lottery numbers, boy. But you know.
And you know what? I am thinking about writing my own lottery book, and I'm writing. My first one's gonna be from Michigan, but I think that's not gonna be until late 2022. I have to do a. I already been doing some studies on it, but I'll be doing more studies on it in a different kind of, in a numerical perspective way. Y'all better get ready.
Okay, we're gonna do 2 more. George Mumford. Hope. Let me put his name up here.
But let me
He
get her
is
a number: 729 and 786 was what came to me. So
Ho, ho, ho. Let me write that down. What was that number again?
729 and 786. Last time, let me just share the story. Last time I was with my I was with my colleagues. We had a little outing together, and because I already know, they said, so what's the number, Kaya? I'm like, the only number I can think of is 1215. But I said, it's not gonna come that way. Do you know that was on a Saturday? That Monday 1215 came, but it came in a different kind of way.
Just like you said.
Just
Well, listen.
just like I said. I'm not
Hey, hey.
saying that I'm all that in that. I'm just saying certain things do come to me.
Well, what about George, who's born on January the 1st of 81, and then we'll take one more, and we'll have to call it an evening.
Okay, so George, you are the boss of the bosses of the bosses already. So you already know what you can bring to the table. You may have had heart palpitation when you were young. Maybe you had asthma or some kind of respiratory issue when you were growing up. You always been a person that out of your family members, you was the only one that went a different kind of way because you already knew what they were doing wasn't working for you. So you had to go a different way because you were the first one to probably finish high school, start your own business, have your first child, the first graduate, the first to do something. You were the first one to change the game in your family. You was a leader in your family and continue to be that leader.
Well, the last one is going to be Kelly Hernandez, and she said her daughter is born on the 18th of January of 1984.
This is a person that will do very well when she was younger, probably in the academics, whether it was sports or cheerleading, volleyball, whatever kind of things that she was in, almost as if like she's always kind of be in a competitive kind of thing because she knew that she can handle it and she can definitely carry it. Definitely when she studied or was in like spelling bees or things like that. She got many rewards when she was young in school. Or she could have been the one that's out there in the streets like everybody else, but getting caught up and not minding her business and minding everybody else's business. But she's a little older now, so I'm quite sure she wires it when that sudden return had hit you, and probably in the back, and I would say 2012 and 2012 and 2014, she started getting her life together.
All right. Let me say this. First of all, I need to thank everybody who called in. There's not enough room. We're already spilled over to the hour, and I try not to keep it. But boys, I first hold up. Let me do this. There we go. First of all, I want to thank everybody who called in. I have to figure out a way because I never want people to feel left out. I know I don't like feel left out, although sometimes everybody can't get their turn. However, I'm going to work out something at some point where when you call in, even if you can't get through, we will get through to you. I just need to work out the logistics. Again, all this is kind of new. I mean, it's getting less new, but it's still new in a lot of ways. But before we wrap it up, I just got to let you know that beginning on this Saturday, please be in attendance. It's the, um, as you see right there, the 2021 numbers and autumn vibe, okay, with Kai French on the left and Lloyd Strayhorn, I think that's me, on the right. And we're going to be there. We're going to be there Saturday, December the 23rd. That's her neck of the woods because I'm going to go visit my baby, who's a Leo, by the way. Sis Leo's was in the house, okay? And please, so make reservations. We have a limited window of time to be between 1 and 6 at this location, the Copper House. Go to the site as she instructed. Go to, what do you say, consultation? That's the link they click on, Kaya?
So when you go to my website, www.kayafrench.com, on the landing page, you're going to go look at the tab where all the tabs are at. You're going to click on the one that say consultation. You're going to see all my services. You go down to the end and you will see one for numbers and all the vibes. Say only October 23rd. You book it for that particular day. You have an option to choose Kaya or Lloyd. If you have any issues or booking it, just give me a call or give the call. It's on the flyer. The information is provided. You can just give me a call because I'll be pretty much orchestrating that part of the deal.
Okay, and for everybody, who, hold up, let me do this, get this back. Okay, Kaya. For
Yeah.
everybody though, let me see. Okay, hold up. You hear me? Hold up. Like y'all know what's going on. So anyway, for those who want to make reservations, call Kaya French at 866-331-5088. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is my contact number, or you can send me an email, or you can send me a message. If you go on my website, you can send me a message as well too. But it's probably better if you just give me a call. I will return your call within 24 hours.
So everybody who's interested in getting that number, 925-729-786, okay?
I
Now,
can't believe y'all got me
call
giving y'all numbers tonight.
schedule the appointment. By the way, she's a columnist for New York Amsterdam News. It comes out each Thursday. We do the free monthly newsletter together. October issues there. November's right around the corner. That'll be ready soon for you. You can either go to Kaya's website, kayafrench.com, or lloyd-strayhorn.com to get your newsletters, either from her or from me. It makes no difference. It's all the same because we team it and put that together as a team. So anyway,
Yes.
I want to thank everybody very much. Kaya, thank you very much
Thank
for
you
giving
for
me your
having me,
time.
Lloyd. You know,
We got
Lloyd,
yes. What happened?
I just want to say one more thing because we are in this sixth universal year and this nine
You mean
universal
coming
week.
up, right? Oh,
I'm
sixth
sorry.
universal month.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we're in the sixth universal month. Coming up in the sixth universal year, but we are in the nine universal week. This particular week, I just want to inspire people to follow your dreams, follow your heart, because life, time is kind of strange and funny right now. You don't know, our loved ones are leaving us and has left us and will be still leaving us in the future with when the North Node goes into Scorpio and Taurus as well. That will be late around Thanksgiving time when those exo change over. That what I have learned in life and through my mother's transition is the last thing we do is take our last breath. So every day, breathe, take a break, and just relax and love on yourself more and call your loved ones or even just send them a text.
Kaya, I want to thank you very, very much. This is very nice. Please get in touch with Kaya, not to get some numbers, but to get some knowledge. Okay. Um, So anyway, everybody, I want to thank you, Kai Prince. I want to thank you too. I'll
Thank you.
see you on Saturday
Sunday.
in the city of Detroit. And
Yeah.
for those of you who is in the area, I'd like to see you before I go and see my little Leo lady in another state. But anyway, that's how I'm transiting. Anyway, everybody have it, and don't forget this coming Wednesday is my buddy Brandon Smith. Okay, he's gonna have a lot to share, and the brother breaks it down in such an articulate way. So he's gonna convert a lot of you people to think that I can. So don't worry about it, everybody. Kaya Prince, thank you so much. But everybody, all of you, have a blessed day. And this is Live with Lloyd, where the joy of learning, no, excuse me, the joy of numerology is the joy of learning and enlightenment. By the way, please share, like, and subscribe. I keep forgetting. Share if you're really interested. Like if you do. If you don't, it's okay. I'm not into that. And subscribe. Definitely subscribe so you can find out what's going on. Because I'm going to have even more exciting guests, and some of them will make repeats, such as Iyanla Van Zandt. In fact, she's going to come back twice more. To spread her wisdom and stuff like that and so the other people. Everybody have a nice day. Until then, I'll see you Wednesday with my next guest, Brother Brandon Smith. That's going to be very exciting.